Hi Libra, and welcome to your mid-September sort of update reading. Already done the general readings for the month. So there'll be 7 cards. I'm going to try and not clarify too much. You get the Fox as for your Lenormand card. The Fox is a little bit like the 7 of Swords. Some of you might be facing a little bit of indecision, some choices that have to be made. The Fox can be this feeling of being deceived. Can be. I don't even tend to read the 7 of Swords that way. It's traditional meaning. But sometimes it's about moving forward in your life, but being quite frozen with indecision. Okay, that's how I read the 7 of Swords, by the way, as well. So let's look and see what this is about. So I'm just thinking, this could be around relationships, by the way, because Mars retrograde is in your 7th house of relationships. And that's only in the natural zodiac. That's not your true birth chart, but in the natural zodiac, the Mars retrograde will be about your relationships. So retrograde is always a pull back. Decisions need to be made. Clarity needs to be gained before a decision can be made. So maybe for some of you, that's how it's acting out. But you'd need to know your real birth chart to see where it's all happening. So what's going on? Actually, the cards are ready. So what you want is the 4 of Wands, yeah? The gift is the Knight of Pentacles. The challenge is the 7 of Pentacles. Yeah. It showed up in your relationships. Okay, so can be analysis paralysis. Your head still looking behind you, over your shoulder, at these 2 swords. And there's a gateway to a new world here, which looks like what you want with the 4 of Wands. But you're still, it's very much in that. So, you know, we all have gifts and shadows. It's almost that Libra point, or do I go right or do I go left? Money and work, you've got the World card, the Emperor at a soul level. Then you get the 10 of Swords. I like the 10 of Swords. I don't read it. It means a cycle's ended. So if someone's in a difficult life position, I always look for the 10s to realise, oh, they're about to make a decision, because the 10 of Swords leads to the Fool card. Yeah, so I will clarify it just in case some of you are like, oh my god, what's the 10 of Swords about? So think of the cards that come before it, the 9 and the 8. Anxiety, fear, feeling restricted. And the 10 of Swords is a little bit like, I'm moving on, and it's with the Wheel of Fortune. So 2 10s. Completion of a cycle. When we complete a cycle, there's always a little bit of grief at what we're leaving behind. Yeah, always, by the way. And some of us mistake that grief for indecision, when in fact you're ready to move to a new cycle here. And what you're looking for is the 4 of Wands. So the 4 of Wands tends to be a happy home, a new chapter, a sense of security and joy. Now, what's helping you get that is the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is it's one of these cards, incredibly infuriating when you're waiting on this Knight of Pentacles. But the Knight of Pentacles is the energy that we all really want, especially if we're looking for the 4 of Wands. Because the Knight of Pentacles might take 10 years to go, okay, but he always gets to his destination. And the Knight of Pentacles is also about commitment, loyalty, that's helping you get this 4 of Wands. 7 of Pentacles is a challenge, and I'm laughing because that might be waiting on that goddamn Knight of Pentacles to show his cards. He's infuriatingly slow because he's so boundaried. And I always think someone's so boundaried because so much trust has been taken from them. So you almost have to be patient with these guys as they release these safety valves. Well worth it with the Knight of Pentacles though. Because when he's in it, he's in it. And he's the most loyal, committed energy. The challenge of the Seven of Pentacles, I think, is waiting for the Knight. But I can't help thinking that Seven of Swords is about a cycle that's not complete. Yeah? And that's why I love the 10. Because that's the cycle complete. Do you understand where I'm coming from here? And a Seven of Swords is there's a feeling of unfinished business, to tell you the truth here. Am I right with Libra? Yeah, Two of Pentacles, juggling, options, decisions. There's an unfinished cycle. But guys, that's how I read the Ten of Swords here. It doesn't matter what we're dealing with. If it's, there's certain cards that you look for to go, it's closing, and that you got it, which means by the end of September, I think you're going to make a decision. I think the decision, it's a decision with the Ten of Swords. It's not, you know, I think how it gets its bad rap is even when we make choices, all those choices involve a little bit of sorrow. So we mistake the sorrow for, oh, I shouldn't be doing this because I feel sorrow, rather than saying with every decision that we make, there's always a little bit of sadness with it. But once a decision's made, it's made, okay? So the World card is in your finances. Tends to be an extremely positive card. It does represent something completing itself again. It's an ending card, so again it begins at the full. So some of you, there might be some sort of shift and some sort of change, but it's not a card of loss, it's a card of change, okay? Some of you as well, I think, which is a theme for a lot of my clients, are beginning to have a sense of purpose and destiny. Yeah, purpose and destiny is a real thing, guys, by the way. We weren't born just to get by, okay? I think a lot of us have forgotten that, and a lot of us are still in circumstances where we have to, but it doesn't have to be that way forever. We can dig, we can find little bits of growth, and those little bits of growth go really, really far. If you follow the link to my email below, is my new website, and I spent years doing that work and working a job, by the way, but I don't now. I just do my business, but it was a process, guys, and that's the end of it. It's a process, and then you get this accomplishment. So some of you are, I think, beginning to go, it's almost like a launching card, and it's the sniffing out of new opportunities. The unfinished business is in your relationships. Now there you go, the Emperor at a soul level. So if you think about your polarities, Libra, Aries, it's always about balancing out your own needs, Aries, the pioneer, you know, with other people's needs. Everyone's got Aries and Libra. Yeah. Aries is also about your own needs. And with the World card and money and work, I don't know if some of you are, because there's so many survival issues going on. But I want you to start considering if there's any signs of spring, any opportunities, any feelings within you which are pulling you, because the Aries archetype is about, oh, I'm really curious, I want to investigate, I want to know more. So it could be about anything, the healing arts, the creative arts. It doesn't matter. It's the energy that you do it with and the sense of purpose. So, very powerful. So you're my second reading. Actually, you're my third reading today. Everyone's readings are really powerful. The cycle's completing. And I think it's a relationship dynamic. I'm sort of smiling, and I don't know why I'm smiling. Because, you know, like in cord cutting, it's never an easy choice to get to that point, is it? So I'm not saying there's not been huge suffering here. It's never an easy choice. But it's one of these situations that really set us free and complete a story, because I love this Knight with the 4, and it looks like that's what you're looking for. And then because when you get to the 10, you get to the wheel. So that's Goddess Fortuna, okay? She's a Venus goddess, by the way. She's the goddess of all the good fortunes, and sometimes I just pray to her when I need some financial aid, some sort of support. But she tends to ask for something in return. So quite often what I have to do is maybe give up a bad habit. I've got so many bad habits, Libra. A relationship that's no longer serving me. There tends to be something that we need to give up before we get Fortuna. We get the goddess of good fortune. We get the wheel of fortune to turn for us. And there's a relationship dynamic here. And it's almost like you've gone, but you've not quite. And I'm laughing because the clarity is the Queen of Wands. She's just so powerful, guys. The Queen of Wands is like, she's this incredibly powerful light who will not take any bull from anyone, yeah? But again, you're talking about some cards, and I can look before this reading, Libra, and realise there's been some great difficulties to get to this point. Because when that Queen of Wands rises up, especially for a Libra who loves harmony, it's like some of you have gone through torture and you're standing up with this glorious Queen and saying, no goddamn more. And if it's a toxic relationship, you're cutting that cord. That's what the Ten of Swords is about. And the irony is, once you start to bring that power into your life, she's a power of, Queen of Wands is the power of Shakti, the divine feminine, this, you know, all these powers in one. No one messes with the Queen of Wands. Our lives begin to transform before our eyes. We begin to see opportunities when there never used to be any, because we're so caught up in this goddamn Seven of Swords energy. It's almost like being hypnotized into a trance. And then we wake up and we start to take our power back. Yeah. I am so passionate about people taking their power back. It's probably my biggest passion in the whole wide world, is taking our power back. And that's exactly what you're doing here. And I think it's from a relationship dynamic. I think around your money and work, I think some of you are sort of going, oh, there's, you know, what's here for me? Apart from relationships. That's the two big things. It's a relationship with God, or spirit, sorry. A lot of people don't like that word. And then it's our relationships and our work. Yeah. Right, and right, it doesn't have, we don't have to change the world to bring forward some sense of, you know, divine purpose and job that we do. We can do a couple of hours a week, and then suddenly it builds and it becomes more, and our powerful destiny just takes over. There's a relationship, unfinished business, Libra, that I think wants to be completed here. And I have not got one single little bit of, I've got a little bit of sadness, because there's always sadness, but look what's going for you. And I think this is what you're really looking for, stability, this loyalty of the Knight of Wands, rather than the Fox. Yeah. Where everything's shadowy, nothing's spoken about. It's all this blurred lines. Just say no. Love it, Libra. Loads of love, guys. Bye.